Waiheke has so many unique places. And unfortunately, some of those unique places, one of them being the Waiheke Dirt Track Club, are not known about, not heard of, which is a shame, you know, because it's such a unique place, it's so great.
Waiheke Dirt Track Club has got a really deep-rooted culture. It was started in the mid-80s by a group of paddock bashers who sort of borrowed some land off a farmer. They raced and raced to the point where they'd formed themselves a club and it became an organised thing. The farmer kind of needed some money for some investment, so he put a proposal to those guys and said, you know, I think you better buy the land off me or otherwise I'm going to have to sell it to somebody else. So they formed, from what I gather, was a pretty good deal for the boys that were racing at the time. Here we are, you know, many years later, and it's still going.
Especially being on Waiheke, we're a very close club. You know, a lot of the clubs over in Auckland and around the country, you know, they're quite spread out. You know, they're travelling. Some people are travelling an hour to go racing. You know, we're very fortunate that we own our own club. We own our own grounds. We don't lease it, and we're all living on the island, and we're all generally within a 10-minute vicinity of the island of the racetracks.
The dirt track means a whole lot to me. I've been in there 28 years, right from a toddler right till now. I have the most amazing memories of people from past and present. I got into racing because my family was in there. I grew up in the club and it was just a passion and something that I wanted to have a go at, so I did.
I've got two lives as a race car driver. I raced on the big circuit in New Zealand competitively for 15 years. I retired from racing in about 2003. We moved to Waiheke and lo and behold there was a track here, so I kind of fell in love with it again and realised that I hadn't really retired, and so I'm still racing.
I got into racing by meeting a good friend of ours who's since passed away, Mr. Bruce Kirk. He was doing some jib stopping on one of my jobs and invited me down to the Waiheke Dirt Track Club for a bit of a nosy. And being president, I've sort of grown and learned a lot in the last couple of years by doing it, and I'm very proud to be involved with our club. Yeah, it's a great environment.
Being a female in racing is not always easy. Obviously, for many, many years it's been known as a man's sport, which nowadays we're proving against that. But, you know, I always tell people that girls can do anything boys can do, and sometimes we can do them better.
When I'm racing, a racer's a racer. A gender doesn't come into it. I think women have proven themselves to be competent and, you know, and to be skilled, just like any guy. I've seen lots of guys who don't cut it as far as races go, and I've seen girls that do, and the ones that do, I really respect them as racers, and whether they're male or female doesn't mean anything. When the flag drops, it's about racing.
When I'm at the start line, I'm a nervous wreck, shaking, my feet are shaking, my hands are shaking, my heart's racing. When that flag drops, it disappears. There's no more nerves, there's no more anything.
We've got a really tight corner we call a hairpin. The back straight is uphill, which leads into what we call a sweeper, which is a nice open high-speed corner. But when you come around that, it closes back in on itself and there's a little kink, so you have to do a slight left turn and then a slight right turn to run down what you would consider the straightaway. As far as tracks go, I would say Waihiki's the hardest track that I've had to master to date, which is part of the reason I love it.
I could quite seriously say that everybody's out there in the car, he wants to win, he or she wants to win, and yeah, it's good competitive racing.
What it's like to win is amazing. You can't beat the feeling really, especially being a female driver when you have a lot of people, a lot of men driving with you. It's a pretty unreal feeling, you can't really describe it.
But sometimes winning isn't everything. Some of the best races I've ever raced, I didn't win them. I might have come second or third, but the race with the other competitor was so thrilling and so close that both of you came away from it. And you know, I've hugged guys after a race because it was such a good experience.
You know, we have a range of people in the club, from police officers to firemen to nurses to carpenters to mothers, everybody.
If you want to be a part of it, you're more than welcome to come down and give it a go.
You could go racing on a dirt track in Waiheke for as little as $300 if you wanted to.
Grandma's car, put a roll cage in it, strip it out, and group of tyres and go racing.
I guess I love racing because, you know, it gets the adrenaline going and it's fun, and when you have so much passion for something, you just keep on keeping on.
For me, it's the thrill. It's the thrill of the race, the thrill of the chase. I love the adrenaline buzz when I'm racing, but I really enjoy the social side of it too. I meet a lot of good people, and I've got some strong friendships that still last today, that, you know, probably people I met 30 or 40 years ago.
When the racing season starts again, I think the boys I work with are quite happy, because that's my release, that's my energy, that's my, you know, it's my thing, you know. And if you've had a really good weekend and you're fizzing for 3-4 days afterwards, you know. So it's a really good natural high.
We've had people who've come down who've never driven a car competitively, and once they've had a turn around the track, they're hooked. I think it's one of those things like any sport. If it takes you, it'll bite you and you're addicted. If that happens, you'll be like me, you can't get away.